Yes.
Okay, let's see what Jesus has to say to us today. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. You are at times when you are feeling exhausted, experiencing upgrades that the body cannot cope with. And so it's an important thing to keep in mind as you go through the coming years that increased frequency events, let us say, if there's a sudden wave of light information coming onto your planet, you have not been taught that these things affect you. You have been taught that you are bodies and that nothing from the exterior changes you, but it does. The light codes from the galactic center do affect you. And because there's a lag, because of how the body is created, it is created from your consciousness. Your body is not separate from your consciousness. It is manufactured and created from your consciousness. When your consciousness gets an upgrade, the body then is lagging behind your consciousness. Now, your upgraded consciousness is going to give you a feeling of joy or happiness or increased energy initially, but once the lagging behind body tries to catch up, it now has to transform all those skin cells, all those liver cells, all of those cells that are now being manufactured by the new level of consciousness that the upgrades have given you. It's a lot of work for your physical body. So what we would recommend is if you have a day when you are feeling very lethargic, and our dear one has come to this conclusion herself, is that if there is a day that suddenly the body seems very heavy compared to the day before and nothing has transpired, then she will listen to it and she will allow herself quiet time to allow a recalibration to happen. So this is something that is important for you all to know. The other thing that's going on right now is a lot of chaos in the energetics of people. So globally speaking, there are conflict and confrontation points coming up between governments, between people and their governments, between different countries. This is nothing new. This is the ego's playground, and battling with each other is indeed part of the status quo here in the ego's playground. But there is, as you can feel if you are tuned in at all to global information systems, there is a rapidly increasing energy of confrontation and conflict. So what's actually going on is the same thing. When you have an increase in light codes bringing in information to every single human being on the planet, there is a disruption in those energy systems, and there can be an elevation or an increased awareness of conflict points and things that aren't right. Why? Because you've been raised up a few degrees of frequency, and now what was tolerable is not tolerable. And this has at times been referred to as ascension madness, meaning that behavior becomes more erratic as undealt with issues that were in the subconscious become activated by the world. So when you are activated by the news media that you are following on whatever side of the fence that falls, it doesn't really matter. There is an agitation factor that is being transmitted through media systems at this time. It is inevitable when there is a rapid evolution happening. And one of the rapid evolutions that you are going to be seeing more and more of is the impact of AI on your culture. So you are beginning to see that sometimes on your news feed, there will be a video of some alien creature being caught in a fisherman's net. And there's something in your mind that says, I don't think that's real, although it looks absolutely real. There are videos of whales having barnacles scraped off their skin. These are AI-generated videos, and they are plucking at your heartstrings with some of this information. So what you've got now are the leading edge technical people who love this ability to produce videos. Very, very easy, very, very accurate. They look totally real, unless the subject matter is so weird that something in your brain tells you, this doesn't feel right to me, and your guidance system will let you know. But this is going to become increasingly more difficult to detect, especially if the scenario that's being portrayed in the video is something that could happen. Usually the clue now is that doesn't seem very likely, or animals don't behave that way. Where you're going to be easily deceived is in seeing videos that could actually be happening. And we want to let you know that there are already videos at play, and you think they're real and they're not. So we are upping the ante here with our cautionary warning about believing every single video that you see, that the media feeds you, especially if it is loaded with emotion, if it's asking you to have a very, very strong feeling. What we want you to do as Course in Miracles students, again, we're going to re-emphasize this so that you understand how important it is that you focus on your life, that you focus on how you are feeling and whether or not you are getting guidance, that you are focusing on whether or not you're being emotionally triggered by an image that you're seeing. If you're being emotionally triggered by what you're seeing, we do not want you to carry on with that story. We want you to turn that image off, feel the emotion that you're feeling, whether it's anger or sadness or disappointment or guilt. It could be any number of feelings that you're feeling, and use it to understand more about your own consciousness. Admit, I've been triggered in some way. I've had a strong emotional reaction to this. Are you excited at the prospect of freedom? Are you angry at the prospect of more control? Are you sad because images have been shown of the ego's playground, a place where there's lots of sad things? We want you to use this as you are a Course in Miracles student. We want you to use any strong emotional reaction to anything as a springboard for you to question yourself and to write out what you're feeling and what you believe may happen. So the emotions are being very, very manipulated at this time, and we want you to recognize it. If a strong emotion arises in you, it's because you have had a thought that you have believed. And this is very, very important. A thought that you have believed can create a strong emotional reaction. I'm never going to have any money. If you have that thought and you believe it, you will feel sad and depressed. If you have the thought, I'm never going to have any money, and you don't believe it, you just say to yourself, well, that's kind of a unloving thought. I'm not going to pay attention to it, and you brush it away and don't give it any of your energy. Then you don't feed that belief that generated that thought. So the strong emotional reactions are your clue that you have believed something and you have allowed it to seem to be true in your mind. And so just as a belief generating a thought inside of you, I'm never going to have any money, will make you feel something if you believe it, so too can a belief from the outside. Russia is going to invade Europe. If you hear that statement from a trusted source and you believe it, your emotional reaction will tell you that you've believed it. You have a strong emotional reaction. So your guidance system is impeccable and constant. And this is what we want to remind you of as you're going into this more intense period of geopolitical activity. Your strong emotional reaction is letting you know that you have either believed a thought that has been generated by a belief, or you've allowed a new idea to enter your mind that is disruptive. Now, we are not going to generalize here, because one thing from the outside will cause one person joy, and one thing from the outside will cause the same thing will cause another person fear. So the thing we can generalize about is this, that your guidance system is impeccable and constant. And you know when you feel good, and you know when you feel bad. And when you feel bad, it means that you have stepped off the path towards love. You have turned away from love, or you're backing away from love, let us say, because all of you in some way or another are walking towards love. You're evolving, you're growing, you're using this incarnation to have your experiences, which will teach you things. But when you feel bad, that means you've stepped away from love. Immediately you feel bad. If there is news you don't like, turn it off, write down what the news is. Russia is going to invade Europe, because there are news sources that are saying that. And then write down what has been activated in you. So subconscious beliefs get activated when you believe something, whether it's a thought of your own or a new idea that's been put into your mind from an outside trusted source. Now, if you don't trust a source, generally speaking, you won't listen to it. It's the trusted sources that you need to be paying attention to, because those are the ones that you think are okay. So what we are basically saying here is this: even if you have a trusted source that you think is truthful, your guidance system may indicate to you that something they're saying is not true. So you can trust your guidance system. You must remember that some of the news sources that you are listening to are the same sources that were spreading the COVID story, that were telling you you had to have a vaccine, that the vaccine was safe and effective. So we want you to reflect upon that. Are you listening to the same people who told those lies, because they were lies, but now you're believing them? So do a little bit of self-assessment here, and remember that you can trust your guidance system. Your guidance system is connected to source energy by an invisible umbilical cord at the frequency of love. So when you are not in alignment with source energy, you won't feel good. That is our introduction.